Alright, everybody, welcome to Profit to Glory. So, today I'm making a new series here where we have to make profit in every single window, and I'm doing it with Leicester, who have struggled with FFP regulations and everything. Had a point deduction, I believe, and they're not doing too well in real life. So, I've decided, you know what, Leicester's going to be the Profit to Glory team, and I'll just show you the transfers that we've done. So, on the outs, to get the money in, we sold Jordan Ayew for 5 million, trying to run down his contract, not on my watch. We sold Ben Nelson for 13.5 million. He was a young up and coming player at the club. He could have been homegrown at club for when we get to the Premiership, but I needed the money, so 13.5 million is welcome, and I'm happy we did it. We then also sold Wildface. I think he is absolutely shocking, so good riddance. Brentford took him off our hands, and he does look good in the game. In real life, not a chance. Ricardo Pereira went out on loan. Um, he said he was going to run down his contract. I tried so hard to get any deals for him, but only loans came in, so that was disappointing. I did just let him go out on loan to run down his contract because he would have just gotten upset if I'd signed the player that I've signed, and he would have just gotten upset. If I didn't play him, if I locked in my player, which I think I am doing. So I made some signings. Jack Rudoni came in from Coventry for just 20 million. It is 10 million up front, 10 million in installments, but he's going to be playing our attacking midfield role that drops deep. He is very good at the tracking attacking midfielder, which I've changed my tactic to. I think his stats are very nice. 15 passing, 15 dribbling. He's got good mentals. He's got great stamina to track back. And if we look at his stats, he's got 5 goals, 7 assists in just 6 games. 5 assists in 2 games in the Carabao Cup. That's very impressive. I think he's doing really well, making our money worth right there. Jerry St. Just came in from Sporting for 600,000. It was just a little release clause on him there. And I thought, how is he getting away with 600,000? He's got great pace, we all know about. Marking and tackling, brilliant. But he's secretly a good ball playing defender as well, and that's perfect for what I'm trying to do. And his mentals are also very great as well. So I thought, why not pick him up to replace Face? Very, very much a good replacement for Face. Making so much profit in that regard to centre back roles. And then Gil Rosas came in to play right back instead of Ricardo Pereira. I think he is better and he'll be good in the Premier League, I believe. Squad wise, the reason I didn't make a second centre back signing is because we've got Harry Suter as well, who is still injured. He'll come back just fine. We've got Caleb Macaulay, who will be playing games. Hopefully, he can develop as well. Goalies, Jakub Stolarczyk, I've already used this game. I think he is very good. Midfield is a little bit of a dangerous position for us with Hamza Chowdhury, Harry Winks, Bubakari, Samari. Not really too sure. Oh, Oliver Skip's good. Oliver Skip's good. But not really too sure on the other guys. Lewis Page, an up and coming player. We have decided not to fully utilise him this year. He'll be sitting on the bench and playing with the U21s. I haven't seen this though. These guys are out of contract, so maybe I should have tried to get a deal for them. Do you think people still want to? No. So we are just going to be looking to lose them on freeze apparently. Or maybe I'll give them a contract and lose them in January. We'll see what happens. Patsandaka as well. So I might just give them all contracts and try sell them in January. That might be the play. But you can see I am locking in Jack Rudoni and Monga here. Jeremy Monga out on the left. Says he is a 4-star left winger for me already, which is very impressive. Apparently he's Premier League level. That's what it says there. So already is very, very good. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists in all competitions. What a player. We're going to just keep developing him as he gets older. He'll just maybe potentially 100 million profit, or hopefully we can hold on to him. Same with Lewis Page. He was wanted by Man City. They've taken away their interest. Hopefully he just develops as well. But this is my Liverpool tactic, if you guys remember. I have just changed it so that an attacking midfielder is a tracking midfielder, not a DM. Because I have noticed that out of possession, the attacking midfielder drops into DM anyway instead of forcing them to do that. So I think that is the play there. And it does seem to be working because we are top of the league. We have won every single game this season, winning 2-1 in our first game, 5-1 against Preston away, 3-2 against Charlton away yet again, and then 2-0 against Birmingham, where they didn't register a shot, which is very impressive. We then beat Oldham 3-1, and then we beat Port Vale 6-1 as well, with Spurs coming up in the Carabao Cup later next month. So I think I will just get to January, yeah, and show you guys any transfers that do occur, and maybe a little recap of how we've done so far. So I'll see you there. So thankfully, due to new signing Jack Cardoni managing to just pick up goal contributions over and over again, we managed to guide ourselves through a really tough run of form, and thankfully still remain in a very good position going into the January transfer window. But take a look at that December. Absolutely disgusting. So after a very rough November, December time, we lost 2 games in November and then only one game in December. I decided it'd be time for a change, some signing, some sales, because of course we didn't have a lot of money to work with, so someone had to go out. And we did turn it around in January a little bit, because that is just disgusting. 5 losses, 4 in a row is almost sack territory. They might have done me, but we did turn it around. Thankfully, got to January quite nicely. I'll come in and show you our transfer history. So out the door we had Harry Winks leave for 11 million. We had Abdul Fatawi leave for 36 million pounds. And then we had Silko Thomas leave for 1.7 million as well. And then we brought in Mohamed Baloumi to replace Abdul Fatawi, to be our right winger, of course. I think he looked the best from what I could find, so I thought he'd be good. So far, 1 assist. It has got player of the match, to be fair to him. And then Ilya Gruev came in to be our DM, replacing Harry Winks pretty nicely, I'd say. Just stealing him from Leeds to try to get us into the Premier League. Maybe we'll be replaced next season. I don't know if he's Prem quality, but you never know. £7 million. If we look here, we have quite a bit of money left to spend. We could say we could transfer that over for the next season. That would be pretty interesting. Sort of giving ourselves 30 million to spend, so to speak. But we'll see what happens. Whether we get into the league, whether they give us 30 million in the budget, if that's possible to spend, and of course we'll be able to sell players, especially someone like Jack Cardoni, who has kind of shown he's the best player in the league. 18 goals, 22 assists. That's pretty impressive. 16 and 17 in the league, actually. Very, very good player. He's had 6 player of the matches, 7 in all comps, and then Gil Rosas with 4 goals, 10 assists. Definitely the best right back in the league. Apparently, he is a Premier League quality player, so that'll be interesting for when we go up, perhaps. Of course, after that tough run, we did manage to get back to second place. We should be top. That run really knocked us out, but hopefully the signings have come around. I am locking in these players because they don't all stay in position. I like Akoli compared to Vestergaard. I think he is better. I'd like him to develop. Have to play him. Just in case they're not playing, so I've gone and locked them in. Um, and then we do have a bit of games left to go. We've got a Birmingham, we've got an FA Cup game there. That's interesting to see how we do. But it should just be fine to simulate through for the rest of the season. So I'll just see you guys at the end of the season then. That'll be fun. And just like that, the season is over. So thankfully, we did manage to turn the bad times of December around. And we didn't manage to win the league, but second place, still promotion. Haven't yet gone through the playoffs, so we don't know who's going up with us. Doesn't really matter. Should be 6 points when we're up in the Prem. 6 easy points. We did concede 60 goals this season, which I'm not too happy with. That's not how I like to play Football Manager. So, I like to score goals. I don't like to concede them. Inspirational. Inspirational quote right there. How did Watford do? Rock bottom. Interesting. But it was a great season. We know the recruitment went well, and I'll show you their stats actually to just prove that it went well. The profit method is going pretty well. So goals wise, Carranza was already here. He was on loan. I'm not sure we can really get him back. 15 million. We do have 30 million to play around with for this transfer window. But he scored 28 and got 15 assists. Potentially he's the man we could bring in. We will look for other options. But we're Premier League. We are allowed to spend. We have Jack Rudoni, who's wanted by Al Hilal. I think we're going to want to keep him for the Premier League. He got 27 goals, 27 assists from attacking midfield. That is the best return I've seen from a player so far this Football Manager. I'm really happy with how he's played, and I think he'll do excellent in the Premier League. So we'll see that happen. Jeremy Monga from left wing, 15 and 14. I think he's developing really nicely. Premier League football next season. Not sure if he's quite ready, but we are just gonna go in and see. Just got to try it out. Mohamed Baloumi came in, he got 8 goals, 6 assists. I think that is the perfect kind of announcement for yourself to try and stay as the starting right winger going into the Premier League. I think I'd be happy with him. We maybe sign a backup to go along with him there. The rest of the team, the goals were kind of spread amongst them. Didn't really see too much going elsewhere. Really happy with Gil Rosas. We have Luke Thomas, who's wanted by Stuttgart. Actually, speaking of Stuttgart, did they stay up? Because that decides. Yeah, they did. So that is 16 mil that we are going to be getting because his contract says, I believe it was 16.5 million. Yeah, 16.5 million if Stuttgart avoided relegation. And they came third, so we'll take that into account. So we have about £46.5 million left to spend for the summer transfer window. And if we make any more sales, perfect. Assists wise, of course, Rudoni 27. But Gili Rosas got 16 assists as well. He is a perfect kind of player for the Premier League. Fits my playmaking wing back very, very well. Is he wanted? He just so happens to be wanted. I can't really see it from there because I do have him resting. I don't know what I've just done. Sent him to. I went into the training screen. Oh my god, this game. He's won by Al Hilal as well. So Saudi are looking to take our players away. But hopefully we can keep a hold of them. Again, not really much else. There was just a kind of big bunch of players that did well. Not a big bunch, but we had Rodoni, Rosas, Monga, Carranza. He could get signed. I did like him. Luke Thomas was good. Balumi was good when he joined. And we did have our centre backs, who I think were impressive. Jerry St. Just gave a new contract for the Premier League. We have Caleb Akoli, who I think is Premier League level. He's got the strength for it, so we'll see how he does. Stolarczyk, I'm not sure. We might have to send him out and try find a goalkeeper who can definitely do it. And then Gruev, who was good since he came in that midfield role. We're just not sure if he can fully hack Premier League level, but hopefully he can. So it was a good season. He got 2 goals there. I don't think we got budgets just yet. 4.5 million. I'm not sure if that's a board induced kind of thing. It would have said it. No, it doesn't say it. Leicester promoted. It would have said it here, but no. So that is just 40 million from this season. Of course, we do have about 45 million we are allowed to spend because of the Fatawu deal, and then also what's his name? Oh my god, Bilal El Kanous, that was it. Both leaving. So that should be fine. And I'll thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you then. Alright everybody, welcome back to Profit to Glory. So today we are starting season 2. Of course, last season we had 33.5 million to spend for this year because of Abdul Fatawi leaving us and Bilal El Kanous having a pre-arranged deal. So that gave us 33.5 million. I will say I have found a bit of a glitch I did try to film a little bit earlier, but none of the transfers were remembered. The game has a glitch here, so I'll show you some of the players that we have sold. So there's the Bilal El Kanous. We have Hamza Chowdhury for 17.25 million, Jakub Stolarczyk for 12.75 million, Mavididi for 29 million, Gil Rosas for 31.5 million. Ollie Skip left the club. I'm just going to try show you from here. I'm not sure who else left. I do have a piece of paper here actually, as I was tracking it. So we sold Chowdhury, Skip, Mavididi, Stolarczyk, Rosas, and I think that's it actually. So it is just the Skip transfer that's missing there. And it didn't show the transfers that we'd brought in, so I will show you some of the players. So in goals, we signed Pascal Loretz. He looked very good. I thought he was a bit of an improvement on Stolarczyk, a bit more confident with his mentals, because Stolarczyk didn't have the concentration, composure, and all that we were looking for. Loretz does. He's got good physicals as well, and even better technicals, so very happy with that. Every kind of technical that I like, he does have above a 14 on, so very happy with that. We then signed Pedro Malero as a new starter for Gil Rosas. Hopefully he does perform pretty well for us, and we can do decent with him at right back now. Shea Charles was brought in at DM. He was around 26.5 million, if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, 26.5 million. I thought it was a good deal. We couldn't give that up because we weren't going to bring him in, but things happened, and we thought, oh, we'll just bring him in anyway. Mr. Diaby came in for 0, so we brought him in for nothing. That's absolutely amazing. We'll make some good profit next season if we decide to sell him, or if he's good for us, we might keep him around. So far, 3 games, 0 assists, 0 goals, 6.27. We managed to keep Jack Cordoni in at cam. Talis Magno came in for around 5 million, if I believe that's right. Yep, 5 million. He looked really good out of left wing, so I thought, take a chance on him. If he doesn't, Jeremy Wonga can just slot back in. We also signed Fiete Arp for £8 million. I thought he looked really good. It was between him and Matisse Ablin. So far, Arp has 3 goals, 1 assist, so it could be the right option. He's just not as quick as Ablin. He had better mentals and technicals though, so I thought could be a better option to link play and to score goals for us. Axel Twanzebe was brought in because he's got homegrown player and he's just a good backup, I guess. He's quick, and that's kind of what we need. Federico Gattoni was brought in for maybe a starting centre back or a backup. £5 million, good option. Kislak was £7 million as a midfielder, but of course we signed Shea Charles, who goes in ahead of him, but he's still a good player. And anyone else? Mike Trezor was brought in as an attacking midfielder to be a backup. He scored a goal coming off the bench or starting, so hopefully that goes well for the season. So I will say, after all the sales and transfers that we brought in, we have £74.5 million to spend. That's what I've got written down on my piece of paper, and I'm going to trust it. We've had a relatively bad start to the season, though. A 4-1 loss away from home to Manchester United, a 0-0 draw to Aston Villa at home, 0-0 draw to Newcastle, 3-1 win against Blackpool, 2-1 win against Brighton, a 1-1 draw where we won on penalties against Fulham, and then a 3-3 draw against Burnley. If we want to stay up, we're going to have to beat Burnley. So that leaves us in 12th. Not too bad, but definitely could be going better. Of course, no European football. Let's just see how we get on in January and if we've made any more signings. So I'll see you in January. Just after the transfer window, we played Leeds and got a crucial win where we won 3-1 thanks to Jeremy Monga, Balumi and Christensen, who scored those crucial goals, before we ran into some trouble against some of the best opposition in the league and didn't win in the next 6 games, which was terrible for our league position, which is just absolutely disgusting. I can't lie. Before, we played teams of our own size and managed to get an unbeaten month through November, although it was only 3 games. And then we did have a terrible run in December, not winning a single game and barely scoring any goals through that month just before the transfer window. Alright, so January has arrived and somehow we are not in the relegation zone. We're sitting in 14th position, 27 points. That's not too bad. That usually you won't get relegated if you've got 27 points after January. But we are looking a bit shaky. Burnley aren't that far away from us. So we really do have to work on our team here. We'll go look at the schedule first. You've probably already seen. Coming into this January month, we were really bad. 5 in a row. Oh my god, that's terrible. We did manage to turn it around a bit. One win in January, where we are missing a game as well there, I think, because it does say 4-0 West Ham here. So um, basically 2 wins in January. We've started February strong, is what I'll say. And we had 2 draws as well. Oh no, 3 draws. 4 draws. 4 draws. And we beat Burton 6-0. I thought we were going to turn it around. We then won. And then we lost 4-1 to Villa. So, it's hey ho. So, recruitment. We did have a bit of transfers in January. We managed to get the sale of, where is it? Ilya Gruev for 33.5 million. That's some great money coming in there. If I had my sheet of paper here, I'd be able to tell you, but I don't, unfortunately. I would be able to tell you how much money we've got, but I'll tell you that at the end of the season anyway. We then brought in Sam Bukema to be a starting centre back because we did loan out Federico Gattoni, who wasn't getting game time. Maybe he wasn't as good as we were expecting. So Sam Bukema came in. I think he is a really great player. 22.5 million, now he's worth 30 to 36. He is 28 years old. He has just turned that in November, so we do have a whole year before he turns 29, which is good for us. He might still have some development in him. His physicals are great, really strong kind of player. He's good at defending as well. I think that was a great signing. He's played 6 games, 6.88. Hopefully he can improve that towards the end of the season. But I think we're doing all right now. This is how the squad's been looking. Have come back to try and sort things out, make sure we're doing all right. Jack Rodoni looks perhaps like one of our better players, even in the Premiership here. He's got 7 goals, 3 assists. Jeremy Monga now starting ahead of Talas Magno, as he's got 4 goals, 6 assists. Fieta Arp not doing as well as we kind of believed he would. He's only got 7 goals and 3 assists in the Prem. Maybe he's more attuned to an attacking midfielder type of role that I never really considered him for in the first place. That could be something we look to next season if we're looking to get rid of Jack Rodoni. But he's also supposed to be pretty good at striker, so I'm not entirely sure. That's for next season. The rest of the team, we are having a few kind of arguments. Vestergaard, apparently he was playing a lot of games whilst I was on holiday. 15 games he was starting. This guy, 5 pace, should not be getting anywhere near the starting 11. I couldn't get him out through the summer, through January. So realistically, my assistant manager has been screwing me over. We could have been much higher, I reckon, if he wasn't on the pitch. That's what I'm going to say. Cup-wise, we are still in the FA Cup and playing Shrewsbury up next. In that, of course, we did get a 6-0 win over Burton, but in the Carabao Cup, we are out. I think we probably went out a bit early on, beat Fulham, and then played Man United and lost 3-0 on penalties. So yeah, it's been a bit. I'm happy to stay in the league, is what I will say. But we could be doing better. We could be doing better. We are 14th. I was thinking we could be around the top 10. But maybe I was getting a bit ahead of myself. I thought the signings we did were excellent, but they've not really shown to be. So I'll just get to the end of the season, and we'll see how they've continued on and how much money we've got for the third season. So let's see how we're going. After the January transfer window, we played absolutely brilliantly, getting crucial wins throughout the season, and they were absolutely massive as well, including 6-0 wins against Birmingham, and a 6-3 win against Chelsea, which is just absolutely crazy considering how high they are in the league. This really helped our league position before we went on an absolutely terrible run heading into the end of the season, which dropped us back down the table. But we can look at the goal scorers and see Monga and Rudoni getting some development and growth for the future, increasing their values. Okay, then our season is over and we've finished in 14th place. I'm not sure how high we were up in January, but 14th seems like a fair reflection of our performance this season. We did manage to outperform Norwich and Birmingham, who both came up with us and have now both gone down, and a few other teams in and around the Premier League. And we got to the 40-point mark. That is very crucial to stay up. And we kind of exceeded that by getting 43 points. At one point, I thought we might challenge for Europe, making a late push, but end of the season really discouraged that. You can see there in the fixture schedule. Really, really bad going to the end of the season. We'll take a look at how the squad performed coming to the end. This is how we lined up actually. Harry Suter getting some games because we had an injury to Sam Bukema. Let's look at goals. We had 15 goals and 6 assists from Jack Rudoni here, who isn't wanted just yet, but I suspect he will be. Having that kind of performance from a newly promoted team in the Premier League is very impressive. Maybe we can make some profit on him. Jeremy Monga with 12 goals, 12 assists. He is one of our best players at the club. Very quick, good on the ball, and his mentals are pretty nice as well. Developing, you can see a £99 million asking price there. That's because he has been promised to be sold if £99 million is received for him. He did say he wants to be going with a higher class of player. That's what he said. Fieta Arp did manage 10 goals and 7 assists. Not really too great considering what we were expecting from him up top. You know, Carranza did so well in the championship with this formation and all the goals he would be scoring, but Fieta did not really come through with that. Maybe Matej Sablin, who I was looking at the start of the season, would have been a better purchase. We had Musa Diaby come in for free, of course. We are thinking we could possibly sell him for this next season. Looking at quite a bit of money if we were to do that. So that is some great income right there. Taos Magno, 9 goals, 3 assists. Not really the player we thought we were buying. But again, we could sell him on for a bit of profit as well. Mike Trezor off the bench, 3 goals. Kind of just fine. He was just a little backup player, so it's alright. Assist wise, we did get more from other players around the pitch. So we had Victor Christiansen playing left back. Of course, he's been here for a very long time now. A very good left back on the game. Great physicals, great mentals, very well rounded type of player. And still 24, which is very good for the team here. He can keep developing. 11 assists from him there. Wayo Koulibaly, who was out on loan in the first season, came back and I thought could just be a backup this season, and he was. He scored 4 assists for him. Shea Charles from DM, he's played 41 games. I think he did just alright. Maybe he can push on next season, get a bit better. 4 assists from him from the midfield as well. Kislyak started off the bench most of the time. Now has a value around 25-28 million. A good profit if we sell him on to Al Ali there. 2 assists. Looking for my right back. Oh, there he is, Pedro Malero. Didn't do as well as we would have liked. Is wanted. Maybe we sell him on, try get a better right back. And Mohamed Baloumi, who we signed in January last year, didn't really cut the crop in the Premier League. Did get a 7.12 average rating, starting 4 games, come off the bench 6 times. So maybe he is better than we're leading him on to be. We had Caleb Akali, of course, who we decided we should be starting every game. Scored 2 goals, got a 6.9 rating. Not really a ball playing defender, but still good nonetheless. Lewis Page, he was disappointed that Shea Charles came in at the start of the season because he wanted to get the playing time. We might have to sell Lewis Page on. We'll see. Sam Bukema got 7.02 average rating after coming in January. I thought he performed really well. Only played 13 games though, so hopefully we can get more from him next season. And my mouse had just died there. So recruitment wise, let's get to recruitment history. So I was talking to you guys about the sales. Let's see if this is fixed actually. That was weird that I did that at the start of the video. Didn't let me see the signings, but you can see what their rating was for the season. Loretz was our goalkeeper, of course. Did pretty well. Hopefully he just gets better and better. Um, 26, 27. So Sam Bukema came in for 22.5 million and Ilya Griv left for 33.5 million. That means our total came to 87.85 million for next season. And you can see we only have around a £53 million budget, so we can't really spend that. But of course, that is what we are allowed to spend. We could sell some clauses to get up to that, which I might actually just do there. Sell these installments. Just sell everything we can. Gil Rosas. Oh, there's the installments there for Ilya Griv. That'll be what gets us our money. So if I just continue, we might have more money in the budget. But that still means we can only spend 87. Yeah, so we can spend 87.85 million out of that 70 million. So we do have a bit more than the budget suggests. This is how we were lining up, just the usual 4-2-3-1. Usually with Sam Bukema in there, it's a really strong defence towards the end of the season. Could just be a little bit better in the attack sort of regions, but we will be selling off some of these wingers and maybe midfielders as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Profit to Glory. And if you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now. Alright then, guys, welcome to Season 3 of Profit to Glory. A little series that's going on where we have to make a profit every single window. So, this summer, we have made a lot of signings and quite a few sales as well. So what am I looking for? The transfer history. Hopefully the screen doesn't bug again. Perfect. So, if we go to sales, I think we start down here. Illigrave, Gattoni. We did not sell Gattoni for 29.5k, right? Wait, that's a loan deal. And then we sold him for 5.5 million. Okay. I'm pretty sure we made a sale. No, we must not have made any sales in this season. But in this recent season, there's Gattoni, 5.5 million. Malero, 25 million. Vieta Arp, 30 million sale. Luke Thomas went for 21.5 million. Jack Gradoni went for 40 million. So we're losing a lot of key players there. And that, Kislyak as well went for 26.5 million. And that built up to give us, I'm looking, so we started with 87.85 million. And we then got all that money added on, 204.35 million. That's without the Kislyak money. It seems like I forgot to add that on. So with the Kislyak money, we would have 230 million pounds to spend. So I'm just going to write that in, 230.35 million, because we made a lot of transfers and maybe I'm trying to save money up for the next season. So we signed Iberi Eze for 12.5 million. I think that is a really good signing. 12.5 million, perfect for us. Good replacement for Jack Cardoni. I thought he was actually better attribute wise, so I thought that was a good signing, and hopefully he does well for us. I think he did get injured early on, so not the greatest of starts. We signed Leonardo Barroso to be our right back. I thought he would be a good replacement for Malero, and he was very cheap. So he's a cheap, good right back. Starts pretty young in the game if you guys want to test him out. I think he's pretty decent. Kyle George joined us from Keck. He was one of our options last season, but I went with Vieta Arp instead. Trying to see if that was a bit of a mistake. So Kyle George is coming now for 15 million. Michael Noonan came in from Shamrock Rovers, I believe. He went out on loan to Sheffield United, where he's got 2 goals, 3 assists, so he's doing really well. At the time I'm recording this, he scored a goal today in the U17 World Cup, so that's pretty cool that I've signed him on the same day as that. He looks really good. Just one for the future, so that we've already brought him in. He was 550k, So it's a good signing. Then we signed Mikkel Bro Hansen to be our backup striker, and then if we sell Kyle George, we don't even need to buy a striker because we've already got two that I'm happy with being a striker and then a backup striker. We then did sign Liart Kabashi to be a backup right winger or attacking midfielder, where I think he is good at both of those roles. He's got nice attributes all around there. 4.6 million bargain. He scored 3 goals already for us. Lucas Piton was brought in as a backup left back. It says squad player. 8.5 million. Perfect. Absolutely perfect kind of signing that. He's great in all kind of attributes that we need for a fullback, so very happy with him coming in. Chiveo Sawa came in to be a DM replacement for Kislyak, £14.5 million. Really quite pleased with this signing. A Swiss future international for sure. He does have the potential ability to go much further. Very happy there. Namdi Collins came in as a backup centre back who can play right back as well. His physicals were really nice. His mentals looked alright. I'm not keen on his current ability saying leading Sky Bet Championship. I'd rather have paid 25 million for a proper nailed on player. But he was just in as a backup. It's a lot of money, I know. And then Boris Mamuza Loom came in as a backup DM as well. Because Lewis Page did go out on loan. He wasn't renewed his contract, so he might be sold in January if we get the opportunity. So this guy, because we don't need to register him, he's under 21. Perfect. Perfect, so we don't go over our registration allowance for foreign international players. He does look really good though, you can't lie. His physicals are great, mentals are great, technicals great. What a player. If you want to try him, absolutely. It has been 25 million on him. He's got an assist already. Let's actually check how the results have gone for us. Of course, last season was a 14th place finish, so we're trying to improve on that. We had a 2-2 draw with Sunderland to start the season. Not really what we were hoping for. We were trying to grab a win there. But maybe Sunderland are just good, as we then got a 2-2 draw against Arsenal. But we did lose 1-0 to Wolves. So if we'd gotten another draw there, potentially happy. But definitely should have been a win. Then turned it around with a 6-3 win against Rotherham. And then we beat Man City 4-0. So losing to Wolves, beating City, and then losing to Bristol City is an interesting turn of events. But then we managed to beat Burnley, so all's good on this front here. So with that new transfer news being brought in, let me just do a calculation here so that we can know exactly how much money we have left. Take away 4.6, take away 8.5, take away 14.25, take away 25, take away 25. And we have 115.45 for this January window. If we want to make any improvements, that is. Or we could just leave that over for the next season. So I think it's a decent little start for us. We are currently in 7th. So it's much better than how we finished last year. Let's see if we can just keep this up. I'd be happy to just keep that up through the rest of the season and hope we just kind of challenge for Europeans, but we don't have to get one. We just need to push on further. So yeah, I'll see you in January. I'm pretty sure I did say I'd be happy with us just churning on through this season. And you look at the results after Burnley, took a loss, took a draw, and then 3 wins on the bounce. But then after that, we were just kind of a win here or there kind of thing. January was a bit tough for us. Man City, Arsenal lost to Burnley, but then we beat Liverpool with our new signing scoring a goal there. So I'll let you guys see that. If I just go to transfer history, and Karim Alibegovic, he looks very nice for his age. I think he is a phenomenal player. Very happy with the signing. 14.5 million, of course. So we're still leaving 100.95 million left for next season. So that means basically just 101 million. Yeah. But I really like this guy. I've used him on Leipzig save earlier in this game cycle. I thought he was really good. Lewis Page was supposed to be out on a permanent deal. That might have got cancelled. They got him for free, yes. So Sunderland were trying to sign him for permanent, like kind of 27 million they offered me in January, and he declined it. So that's that's nice of him. But yeah, we're sitting in 10th so far, 38 points. We're definitely safe from relegation, where we did get beaten by Burnley earlier on in the season, and Wolves who are fighting relegation as well. But we're sitting rather nice in 10th. If we could finish the season here, I wouldn't mind it. 10th seems like a reasonable place to be above Man United. But you know, we aren't too far away. I don't think we're really close to pushing for European spots yet. We do have a lot to work on, specifically at the back, I think. The back's a bit of an issue. And then striker, we're not entirely settled on yet. He has scored 15 goals so far, so we'll see by the end of the season. But Caleb Macaulay looks like a bit of a disappointment so far. Mamuza Loom, maybe the same. Just try and make some profit in the next window and then move on with the players that we bring in. But yeah, looks an alright season so far. So let's get to the end of the season. Hopefully we're doing alright. So the end of the season did come around and it is a 10th place finish thanks to a great performance coming to the end of the season here. 2-0, 0-0, 2-0, 1-1, 3-1. It wasn't really a challenge for Europe. If we had won both these drawn games, we actually would have been up in 7th. So that's pretty interesting. We could have been a European qualified team, but of course we're not. So no need to look at that. Let's just take a look at some squad stats for this season. Coming to the end here. So selection info, we'll look at goals first. We had Michael Noonan out on loan grabbing 22 goals, 10 assists in the championship. Interesting if he was to come back and try and challenge for a spot next season. 21 goals, 3 assists from Kyle George. I'm not sure if we're too happy with that. He didn't get a good average rating. We're not entirely settled on him. Mr. Diaby might be out next season. 13 goals, 9 assists, and just trying to cash in on that value. Iberi Eze, he might be the same, kind of trying to cash in on that value before he gets to that 30 mark. 10 goals, 5 assists. Not anywhere near Jack Rodoni kind of numbers. Jeremy Monga had a good season. He's now happy to stay at the club, so that is very good. 7 goals, 11 assists for him. Leart Kabashi from the bench doing alright. Barroso, 3 goals, 3 assists. Talos Magno, I think he might be out the door. Alibegovic getting 3 and 1 since he came in. Christiansen 2 and 5, so it wasn't really a lot of goals, I can't lie to you. We will just look at some of the players that are wanted on transfers. Talos Magno by Leeds. Victor Christensen by everyone. He's a very good left back. Namdi Collins wanted already by Porto. If we could try and make profit instantly, that'd be pretty interesting to see. So if I do that, they're looking at 30 million on the transfer market, it says here. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. I am intrigued to see if we can make money on that deal. Shea Charles down at the bottom here, not really getting involved. We might be seeing the end of Shea Charles here as well. I'm not really too keen on how he got on this season. Loretz as well didn't do too well. 6.78. We definitely could have done a bit better with a goalie who performed, let's say. But no one seems to be wanting to offer right now from the windows not being open and everything. But that's just fine. Caleb Macaulay was someone I was wanting out as well. So let's just take a look. We got some offers coming in there as well. 12.5 million it says. That is not what you really want to see. But I'm happy with most of the squad. Sawa, I think was a good player. Maybe we just improve the midfield, the defence, because we just need a whole improvement yet again to try and push for Europe. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. I do think it was a successful season. If we just take the competitions before we end here, 3rd round in both cups and then 10th in the league. It was a successful season. We did push on. Did push on more than I was expecting. 10th place is great. So I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now. Alright guys, welcome back to Season 4 of Profit to Glory. This is the season we are going to try and push on. We've had a season getting promoted. We've had 2 seasons in the mediocre kind of positions in the Premier League, just securing our safety, having a bit of fun here and there. But now we're having way more fun trying to push for Champions League. Let's take a look at the fixtures before we have a little gander at the transfers. 1-0 win. You might see the new transfer right there, picking up a goal for that win. 3-1 win against Liverpool. Karim Alibegovic hat-trick, so that's brilliant for him to get us that massive win. Wrexham 5-3 win there. Jake Evans from the academy, of course, with the goal to send us through. 5-0 win. Jeremy Monga grabbing a double. Eze on the score sheet as well. We did lose, knocked out the Carabao Cup 4-3. Bit of rotation went into this team here, so not too bothered. And then a 1-1 draw against West Ham. You can see the goal scorer for the Hammers there. What's going on? You might be thinking. Well, you know what's going on. We're trying to get profit. that's the main thing. So we started with 100.95 million, and we managed to end the transfer window with 249.92. So we've made £149 million of profit, whilst also signing players as well. So let's take a look at some sales that have gone through. So we sold Kyle George. We just obviously seen that, 38 million to West Ham. Caleb Macaulay left, £20 million to Newcastle, and Lucas Piton left for 17.75 million there. We then also sold Pascal Loretz, 27 million, Shea Charles for 40, Namandi Collins for 40, Sam Bukema for 44.5, Boris Mamauza Loom, 42 million. So we've just taken 126 million from Real Madrid. He also gave us an extra 15 million because of a clause that was in his contract for playing enough games. So really, we're at 140 million from Real Madrid there, and that seems to be it. Transfers in, you'll have seen some as we're going through there. Dan Ballard was our first signing. I thought he's decent. He's homegrown, on a bargain deal, 2.5 million. Perfect signing, I thought. Absolutely brilliant. Just he's 28 now. Just a little backup centre back. I was expecting him to start, and then we started spending. Sen Lamens came in from Man United. They had him up for a bit of a, I don't know if he was transfer listed, but his price was cut down from what I've seen it at so far. So £16.5 million there. Amadou Ndong came in from Generation Foot. He's loaned back out there. I thought his marking and tackling were exceptional for no one to have picked him up yet. He's got good head and teamwork, work rate. Everything you want in a centre back, this guy has. A little bit short, but he's 175,000, so we're not gonna fret on that kind of signing there. I mean, Xhaka has come in for 14 million. He started really well, 6 goals, 2 assists to his name here. The young man bagging quite well so far. Mads Bidstrup came in for free to replace Shea Charles. I think that was a great signing. Someone to really put in some strength in the team. Good solid DM. Valentin Barco came in, backup left back. Star rating doesn't rate him too highly, but you can see his attributes look very great for kind of left back role. Sadibou Sani came in to be a starting centre back for us. I think he's just a bit better than Dan Ballard. We will see as the season goes on what we're thinking about that and whether he actually is. Filter Ghost, our best centre back now, came in as a Sam Bukema replacement, 41.5 million. I feel like he is better than Sam Bukema, and he's younger as well, so he can still keep going up in the rankings. Very happy with this guy. And then our last signing was Ignacio Miramon, who was out at Boca Juniors. He came in for 27.5 million after we sold Loom. I think our midfield is now the best it's ever looked. We could just go take a look here quickly at the tactics to show you the kind of players that we're looking at here. Jeremy Monga on the left. Diaby's still here. Couldn't get any deals across the line for him, unfortunately. So we're going to have to wait it out, see if we can for another year. He started really poorly, 6.3 average rating. We've still got Christensen, been here since the start. I really like him. Hopefully we can keep him until we go on to the Champions League. Leonardo Barroso, he's getting some interest in him from bigger teams. Try and keep him around. He's doing very nicely. You can see we are looking just fine. We are second in the league, and without any European football, we could really challenge here. So I'll meet you guys at the end of January to see if we've done any transfer deals, and then we'll just carry on from there. So January's arrived. We started with £250 million to spend and ended up with £294 million to spend. So we made profit thanks to Loom having that money come in for us. And I'll show you who else we sold if it would like to come up. So we sold Victor Christensen to Liverpool for £44.5 million. He's gone on to get 2 assists already out there. Maybe a mistake. We'll see later on how the season ends. It all depends on that. And then Valentin Barco as well left for £10 million. So we made money back there. He wasn't getting any game time. He was upset. So I had to. And we brought in quite a few players. Mario Perez came in for £2 million. Just a little backup. He didn't get any loan offers. So we decided to keep him in the squad to just make sure if we got any injuries, this guy just came on for them. He could play right back as well in case Barroso got injured. Christian Dallin, £5 million. I feel like this guy is the future of our team. He's got great physicals. His technicals look really good for a channel forward role, which is what I play. And his mentals can really get up to somewhere. He's out on loan at Viking at the moment, but when he comes back, he could definitely be our striker option. Lazar Samardzic, we didn't really need him, but I felt like his price was way too good to pass up on, 5.25 million. And he's just a phenomenal player, so I thought absolutely snap him up. And then we of course got a replacement left back Kaiki from Keck. Oh, I do that every time, Keck. I don't know the team. Cruzeiro, I think. That's the one. It's Cruzeiro. But I feel like he is maybe a bit of a downgrade. He's better at attacking for sure than Christensen. His mentals look a little bit alright. I'm not sure if he's better. He's definitely got more stamina, I think. He might be a bit faster as well. So it could be an upgrade, it could be a downgrade. We'll just have to wait till the end of the season. So far, 7.2. And he cost us 13.5 million. Through the season so far, we are sitting 7th. Bit of a tough run, I think we went on. Yeah, December was a bit tough. Only 2 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. Losing more games than we won, but there were 3 away games that we lost. And I even got a draw against Arsenal there. Although we did lose 2-0 here to Norwich just before this December run, unfortunately. And in January, just as bad. Picking up 3 losses, 1 draw, 1 win. So that's probably dropped us down the table there. Definitely got to be doing more against West Ham. Kyle George scoring again against us. And Wolves there. So pretty disappointing, can't lie to you. Especially when we're trying to push for a European position. We're also out the FA Cup to Barnsley. So that's brilliant. How we're lining up though, I believe Samardzic is now taking his attacking midfield role and Ali Begovic will be playing out on the right with Monga on the left, Xhaka up top. A bit of an injury to Barroso, so this is how we would be lining up. I think that's a pretty strong team next season, potentially a centre back to go next to Ghost, and we could potentially do really well in the Champions League. We'll just have to wait and see, of course. That's for next season. But I'm really happy with where we're at. 7th, we definitely do have to push on a bit, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on, and we'll get to the end of the season for you. Right, see you then. We have finished in 4th position. That's a really strong end to the season there. Mostly because we did not lose anywhere near as much games as City. They lost 15 games whilst winning 20. That's pretty insane We only lost 8 and won 18. So a bit of a gap between us and these top three teams. These all London teams, actually. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, great kind of run to end the season there. Since that looks like February all the way through to this Man City game, we were unbeaten. That's a very, very long time to go without losing. Beating probably everyone in the league except City at this point, or not losing to everyone in the league except City. And people even played well during that match. We had loads of people over 7 apparently. You can see here, coming to the end of the season, Mikkel Bro Hansen was grabbing us some very crucial goals to send us up the league standings, probably because Xhaka was a bit injured, so Bro Hansen was stepping in. He scored 4 goals, 1 assist this season, trying to put his name forward for a starting role next season. He could get there. He started 4, scored 4. Is that enough? I don't know. Of course, we didn't win any other competition, but 4th place is good enough for a Champions League finish for next year. We do have £294.17 million left to spend, so that could be coming in for this next window. Look at our top goal scorers. It was Amin Xhaka. 17's a bit disappointing when you consider he scored 6 in the first month of the season. So he only scored 11 goals over the entire rest of the season. At one point in January, Dusan Vlahovic became available, but he was wanting 300 grand a week. I just couldn't commit to that for us. We're looking here at Moussa Diaby potentially going out the door as well. Nothing available just yet. Really, I've been wanting to get him out for ages. He's not been doing too much for me. What did he do? 7 goals, 3 assists. Alright. Karim Alibegovic with 9 goals, 7 assists. He could have been playing right wing. That's what we need. We need Jeremy Monga and Alibegovic on either side. Eze and Diaby can leave. I'm happy with that. Michael Noonan scoring goals in. Oh, he was out in League One this season. It's a bit of a downgrade from where he was at before. Miramon coming in, got 4 goals, 7 assists, and a big injury to end the season. Samardzic since January, 4 goals, 4 assists. I think that was worth the signing. He was £5 million, of course. Definitely worth the pickup. Leonardo Barroso, sorry. Wanted by Sunderland. We're probably not going to let him go just yet unless we can find a definite upgrade, but really hard to find that at this stage. He's looking very nice. Kaiki came in, did brilliantly. A goal and an assist in 12 games, was dropping a 7 average rating. That's exactly what we were after. There was options in January that I was looking at who were a bit better. Not gonna lie, they were better than him. Costed way too much, so I couldn't get them in the door, unfortunately. But yeah, we're looking good for next season. Hopefully we can continue to make more money. Like players that didn't perform to expected, like Amin Xhaka, Moussa Diaby, Iberra Eze, maybe Samardzic after 6 months could be out the door for us to make improvements on. Players that are wanted, definitely. Could be looking to get us moves like Dan Ballard. 2.5 million could be upgraded into 14 million for us. Just there. And Sadibou Sane didn't perform to how I would have preferred. So we might look for a centre back who isn't more well spread out. We just kind of want certain things from. So we'll see what happens. Season 5, a very important season where we're now in the Champions League. That sounds brilliant. Sounds absolutely quality. So if you guys have enjoyed this Profit to Glory video, please leave a like and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Profit to Glory series on my channel. This is going to be our last season, so hopefully it does end up being a good one. So far we have made quite a few transfers. I believe we had 294.17 million and have ended up with 261 million. So I'll show you some of the transfers that we've done. So we brought in Samit Karakosh to be a backup centre back. I think his physicals are really nice. He's got nice mentals, and his marking and tackling do all right for this level. He can play left back as well. Dario Isugo, he's got really nice mentals. Is an upgrade in the midfield for £40 million. Anas Janssen was brought in to be an attacking midfielder, and Jose Manuel was brought in to be a striker or a winger. Definitely, I think, to be up top more than he would be out on the left. That's because we did make some sales, so if we scroll down, Michael Noonan out on loan, but the main one I'm talking about is Sawa. So he went out for 29 million, that's why Dario Isugo is brought in. I think he's a bit better. And then we also made some more sales in this next bit here. So Talis Magno left, so did Eze, that's why we brought in a new attacking midfielder for the replacement of Eze. Talis Magno left, so Predrag Matic was brought in. I think he is really nice. Really good physicals, and he's very technical with the ball as well, so good player there. And of course, Ayub Bouadi. We spent 100 million on Ayub Bouadi from Lille, so obviously that is a good signing. Maybe a bit too much money, but it's Ayub Bouadi. That's because we sold Mads Bidstrup for 70 million. We got 70 million pounds for Mads Bidstrup. That's crazy. So we spent that on Ayub Bouadi. I think it was worth it. Definitely an upgrade. Hopefully he improves the midfield. Of course, we are playing this 4-2-3-1. I haven't played this save for quite a while, so this currently is not the meta. The meta has not got any strikers in it, which is just so silly. I have been trying to use, well, in my videos, you'll have noticed I've not been playing recently. None of the videos are from recent. So these tactics all are different to what the meta is, and in my spare time I've been trying not to use meta tactics or using team instructions and everything that are meta, but changing the formation. So this isn't even meta in any way, the tempo's not the same, and I think the defensive line isn't the same either. It's whatever, I'm just trying to play through this season. Hopefully we are doing good enough. So it's still the 4-2-3-1 there. Premier League wise, we are top of the league with 10 points from 4 games. It's probably better to show you from the calendar actually. So we've drawn with Manchester City 1-1, Jose Manuel with his first goal for the club, a 4-1 win against Sunderland, a 1-0 win against Palace, and then a 5-1 win against Brighton. Really sets us up for a nice season. Of course, we did lose 2-1 in the Carabao Cup and are knocked out immediately. Loads of rotation went on there, so not really too much to blame on that one. I think I went on holiday for it, just skipped it, and they rotated the team, so it's not my fault too much. But we do have some Champions League fixtures, so Salzburg, Olympiacos, Barcelona, Benfica, Genk, Rangers, Real Madrid, and Borussia Dortmund are who we're going to play in the Champions League, and hopefully that goes well enough. And in January, we do have £261 million to spend, and we'll see if we've bought anyone by the end of the season. So in January, we brought in Scalvini. He looks really nice, great physical, tall player. Fits into our centre backs or our midfield, so he's really got everything we like for a kind of player there. 2 goals for the season, 79 million he was brought in for. So that takes us down to under 200 million, but it's fine. It's the last season we were allowed to spend. I didn't spend as much as I could have, but that's alright. And we have actually ended the season there in 7th place. Really not as good as I thought we were going to do. Losing 12 games is just really poor. I thought we were much better than that, but apparently not. It might have been because the tactic wasn't as engineered for breaking the match engine as others that are currently being used, because you can see here, Champions League, we got knocked out in the league phase, which really shows that's the case. 5 losses, 3 wins. So in the end, I think it does work if you give it time and use some proper tactics. Again, I've not played the game in a little while, so this tactic was Probably a little bit outdated, but it's alright. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this series, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.